Wow, Joy Taylor allegedly a hypocrite. I mean, it's insane. We're going to build up a case here, so follow the story. We're going to start with the court case itself. I wrote down some lines of interest that we're going to go over. On top of that, Fox News is actually getting sued over a lot of things, not just from the sports sector, but also the news sector. All that compacted into this video. But let me give you guys a little bit of a background on me. So back in high school, I actually volunteered to be a juvenile delinquent lawyer. And you have to go over the court case. It looks very similar to what we see here in real life when it comes down to civil court cases or criminal court cases. And you actually have moments for discovery, rebuttaling, questioning, everything like that. In this time, you have a jury, you have an audience. Typically, it's parents, other parents waiting for their children to go up there. And I played the prosecution role and the defendant role. Now, I would do a lot better on the prosecution role than the defendant role. But the job of the defendant was to mitigate, the punishment so they wouldn't have to do a whole lot. You would present a case, reasoning, everything like that. They're typically found guilty due to the fact that they have witnesses and everything like that. You would call them up, talk to them before you present your case. That is what we're going to do here. I'm not a lawyer, nor is this law advice, and everything I say is alleged. With that all out of the way, let's go ahead and dive into the court case itself. Okay, so we're going to start with page 3, line 8, right? And this is where it all begins. So we have Miss Faraji, and I do apologize if I'm messing up the name, was a resident of Los Angeles. Right now, Los Angeles is going through a lot. California for all times relative during the events of this case. She was employed at Fox as a hairstylist on a part-time basis from approximately 2012 to 2016 and on a full-time basis from approximately 2016 to 2024. Okay, so it's very important that we get this information first, kind of line up the timeline. A lot of individuals need to know the timeline first. Now, we're going to skip to actually page 9, line 12. Sorry if I'm looking down, I'm looking at my notes here. So we're going to bring this up, and Miss Faraji believes she had cancer and conveys this to Mr. Bayless, Skip Bayless, in an attempt to stop his advances, only to have him offer $1.5 million to have sex. That's insane. Now, for me to read this, right, I do need support in order for that line. I would have liked to have line 56 or point 56, 15 through 20 be replaced by 55, then 55 below that, because this goes over how she kind of like said, no, I don't want to do that, right? In July 2021, Ms. Faraji developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer, right? So we would need to have supporting during discovery. We would need to see exactly what that is. But if this was actually done, of course, with supporting documentation, then this will be proven correct. A lot of what court is paper trails, right? And so with a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Mr. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Miss Faraji panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere. Okay, cameras. That she has a child and that she does not want him. Mr. Bayless then grabbed her hand, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. Miss Faraji made an excuse to leave. Okay, so it's always smarter to have instances and proof that it is an environment that is actually something to sue, not just Skip Bayless, but the whole entire Fox News or Fox Sports sector. So let's go ahead and take a look at page 5, line 16. So we have page 5, line 16. Here we go. And we have B. Mr. Dixon gives Miss Taylor undisputed as a reward for having sex with him. In approximately March 2016, Miss Faraji met with Miss Taylor, an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. At the time, Miss Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-by-day basis when talent was sick or otherwise missed time. Miss Taylor told Miss Faraji that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. Miss Taylor then befriended Miss Faraji, so they were close. right? So I'm not going to go over all of this. You guys can read over it. I'll have a link in the description below. We'll skip down to page 6, line 5, 20.22. In approximately June 2016, while at work, so this is really when she started. While at work, Miss Faraji noticed that Mr. Dixon in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, Miss Faraji found Miss Taylor and told her excitingly, the guy who always buys our drinks was in the elevator. Miss Taylor quickly silenced Miss Faraji, explaining who he was. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. Miss Taylor told her not to worry about it. Miss Faraji continued to be friends with Miss Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she was considered this situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. So they had a little bit with the body language. They go over that and they say later on that she would just claim that, you know, it was just sexual assault, allegedly, with this case. Everything I say is alleged. So obviously they were both married, doing certain things, a little strange. And so this kind of ties in with the video that we're going to be taking a look at. Let's head on over. Shout out to Clasher Sports. This is where the clip comes from, and the full video will be linked down below. But video of Joy Taylor surfaces criticizing Jeff Saturday and how he got Colts head coaching job. I have to say, this is the most hypocritical thing I've ever seen.
Whether Jeff Saturday is successful or not does not diminish the fact that the way he got this job was ridiculous and embarrassing and disrespectful to everyone else in the organization. Everyone doesn't feel great about this hire in the organization. What it says to everyone, around the NFL, by the way, not just in-house, is that your hard work doesn't matter. What you put in doesn't matter. You could show up every day. You could get here early. You could leave late. You could put in years, blood, sweat, and tears. And if I have a better relationship with this guy, he's going to get the job over you. Remember that. Yeah. And believe me, that message is received when you do things like this.
So since this is allegedly in the court case that, you know, in the elevator, y'all are like kind of canoodling and having fun, claiming on, I believe it was page 5, line 16, saying that, oh, you know, you were offered a position due to the fact of sleeping allegedly with Mr. Dixon. Okay, all right. But this is what she has to say to those that do this kind of activity.
So it's not about if Jeff Saturday wins a game over the Raiders or not. It's about the message that you send about hard work and how it pays off in your organization. And good people that have options don't go to organizations like that because they want to know they have upward mobility. They want to know that their hard work is going to be rewarded and respected. And what the Colts did, said, hard work doesn't matter, honey. Relationships do. Sorry.
Oh, what? Bro, what? That's crazy.
About it. And everyone's doubling down on it now. And remember, since we're doing receipts, I'm going to keep those too. Because if you don't have to have requirements, if you don't have to have a resume to get a job,
then I'm valid. Right? Allegedly, she's valid for what she had to do. Now, more so, I guess the problem is what they said within the court hearing is that she would claim sexual assault. This is alleged. I have to say it. I know some of y'all are like, you don't have to say. Yes, I do. And this is from somebody that, you know, spent a little amount of time within law classes in order to get to law school. Yes, you do. But this is not me trying to create defamation of character for Joy Taylor. I'm just saying how weird it is from the court case and hearing this.
Keep that same energy the next time a black coach is up for a job. I don't want to hear a word about what experience he has. What does he call in plays? Jeff Saturday sure wasn't calling no plays. He made that very clear. I am delegating all responsibility except for...
Okay, so this is a line. Again, I'm building a case. This is the most important thing of presenting. And I think a lot of people look at this as a drama thing. A lot of individuals need to play this game very careful when creating content like this, because they can come after you. And if you do not present it in a way where you're kind of taking your personal opinion about it, you're using evidence to support your argument, because this is where this is where YouTubers think that they have this veil when no, people can come after you. So the next thing I'm gonna bring is her contribution that somebody had posted on FS, I believe it's FS1, correct me if I'm wrong, but she mentioned this. Let's replay it real quick.
The next time a black coach is up for a job, I don't want to hear a word about what experience he has. What does he call in plays? Jeff Saturday sure wasn't calling no plays. He made that very clear. I am delegating all responsibility except for cheers and motivational speeches to everyone on this staff. So keep that same energy about calling plays.
Okay, so she said that pretty much Jeff Saturday is using other people to do his job. And literally, that's what she said. And that's not alleged. If you want me to go word from word, she said that he sure isn't calling in any plays. Okay. And that means, layman terms, he's not doing his job. Let's check this out. Okay, so this is actually Speak Keys, and they are coming up with a lineup on October 1st, I believe. Yeah, October 1st, 2024. And Joy Taylor is right above me. And man, I know these dudes are tall. I wonder how tall Joy Taylor is. Probably like 5'5". I looked it up. She's actually 5'2". Okay. Now she's pretty short.
That's okay. From number 2 out, who lost to the 6. They out. Out of it. They out.
Now, the point of me showing this is her contribution. I hate to stop it, but due to copyright reasons, but this is her contribution.
Buffalo's out of it.
I like the list.
I'm going to skip to the part where she's actually talking.
Shake it up a little.
It's because it's new. It's all new.
With the Commanders?
It's new.
Well, let's
so at any moment,
See how they handle success.
She tried to move it on, but the guys are really in depth with this conversation, and the team that is going to be the top, I believe it's the top 7. Yes, top 7. But let's keep going.
Let me see how they handle success on them plane rides on. Let me see
I predict next week.
She tried to transition it, but it did not work. So this was her contribution. Let's see what she does at the end.
For a reason to give them a little more.
Sunday's win over the Eagles.
They had to cut it to finally when she's going to move on. So her position, but you know what? I'm not going to give you guys my ideas until the end. Lastly, we're going to see how Fox News is under hot water with another court case. Let's see that. Okay, so we have Fox loses last-ditch effort to stop massive $2.7 billion defamation suit. And that is crucial. I mean, man, that's gotta hurt. $2.7 billion. The UK-based voting machinery company filed the suit in 2023, citing the network's repeated attempts to bolster President-elect Donald Trump's false claims of voter fraud in the 2020 election, reported Reuters. So that's something where I'm not too sure within the filing, and I'm not about to go over it in this video. This video is more so focused on the case with Miss Faraji. And I do apologize if I'm saying her name incorrect, but this is another thing where Fox is like getting bashed on all sides. Absolutely. So let's go ahead and do my final remarks. Okay, there is no denying that there's a lot of hypocrisy, some very shady things that are going on. And allegedly, if Skip was offering $1.5 billion, or excuse me, $1.5 million, I can only think that his thought process was, okay, she's coming to me with a problem, and if I get the thing that I've been wanting by offering her 1.5 million, this would take care of her expenses, her son, her problems. And on top of that, it's not right, the things that is going on concurrently with Skip Bayless and the alleged bribery in order to have sexual interactions with Miss Faraji. I do feel for the individual because it seems like the whole entire of Fox Sports seems to be messed up. It seems like the environment is more so pay for play. And this is all alleged. I have presented my case and I've shown different sectors of it. I have seen the hairstylist Instagram. It's more so very much focused into her job. So it's not really scantily clad. It's not like Joy Taylor's, where if you go on Joy Taylor's, I mean, she's definitely advertising something on that platform, but it is a messed up situation all in all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate all of you, familia. And this is going to be the new type of content that I cover, certain things that interest me while I'm over the road and I come back home, my further due diligence and research, and I will catch all of you, familia, in the next one. Peace.